Hi, and today we're going to be learning about definite integrals. What is a definite integral, you may ask? Well, the definition is that if f of x is defined over a closed interval a to b, and the limit as the partition approaches 0 of the sum from I to n of f of c of I times delta xi exists, then f of x is integrable on the interval a to b, closed interval a to b. So basically this really long limit function can be denoted as this definite integral of f from a to b, a being the lower limit of integration and b being the upper limit of integration. And this works both ways. Now before we go on to our practice question, there are two very important things that we need to discuss, and that is that delta x is the upper limit minus the lower limit over the number of partitions that there will be, meaning like the number of rectangles and such. And c of I is equal to a plus I delta x. Okay, so our example problem will be to find the definite integral by the limit definition of 4x squared in the interval 1 to 4. Now first I want to find the partition, which is delta x, and if you remember that's b minus a over n, so I can find that by just subtracting the given values. We don't have an n for this problem, but that's okay, just keep solving. And then we want to find c of I, or not c of I, c sub I, which is a plus I delta x, which equals 1 plus 3i over n. Okay, now we're going to use our limit definition, which is the limit as the partition approaches 0 of n sum I equals 1 f of c sub I times delta x sub I. Now we can rewrite this as limit as n approaches infinity. It's the same thing. So I'm just gonna start plugging in things now. So f of c of I, which is this value right here, is going to be 4 times 1 plus 3i over n squared times delta x, which is 3 over n. And then from there, never forget to write your limit. We are just going to, well, what I did is I just multiplied these two together. And then I FOILed this right here to be 1 plus 6i over n plus 9i squared over n squared. Great. And then what you can do from here is you can separate all the terms, like here, I'll show you what I mean. It's n sum I equals 1 of, and then I like separated while I distributed, so it would be like this. N squared plus n sum I is 1 of 108i squared over n cubed. Let me just add in parentheses to make that easier to see. Okay, great. And so now for these ones, you can just take out these, you have to isolate the I and the I squared here so that you can use your really useful I forms. So that will just be simplified into, this is just n times this, so simplify, that's 12. So plus 72 over n squared. Oh wait, not bad. Of n times n plus 1 to n plus 1 over 6. Okay, now if you just like cross out a couple of things and you find the specific values like so, 36 times n. You'll find that the limit of a constant is that constant, and then the limit of this value right here is actually 1, so 36 times 1 is 36, and then the limit as n approaches infinity of this right here is 2, so 18 times 2 is 36 as well, and 12 plus 36 equals the answer, which is a very messy 84.